Blackhawks begin the 7-game road trip with a 5-2-1 road record as we come to you from the Pepsi Center in Denver, Colorado. We'll take a look at the Ford goaltending matchup. And that man has played 1,117 minutes this year so far, more than any other goalie in the league. Corey Crawford continues to be the workhorse of the blue paint at those 13 wins, tied for the NHL lead. And at the other end, Semyon Varlamov, who has given up 2 or fewer in 11 of his 14 games. The officials tonight, Dave Jackson, right there paired up with Mike Lego as the referees, the linesmen Pierre Rassico and John Grant. And we're underway in Denver.
And the first period of Blackhawk Hockey is brought to you by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Honda dealers.
Icing right away here. Well, we mentioned the Colorado team defense, and 12 of the first 13 games they played this year, they gave up 2 or fewer. But now in the last 6 games, they've had 22 goals against. So they're up against the league's highest powered offense from the Blackhawks tonight. So we'll see how things shape up. But Eddie mentioned that the Avs have done pretty well against Hawks the last couple of years, and their team speed is usually something to really take notice of. Quite often when these two teams get together, it is a fast-paced matchup. Here's a steal by Sharp, but he was checked right away. And young Nathan MacKinnon, just 18 years of age, the first kid picked in the draft last year, got gummed up at center ice. Unable to advance any further, and now the Avs have Landeskog. He failed to get it deep. And Chalmerson cleared it ahead. The Hawks, Ben Smith dumped it in. Going back is Gennon. He put it around the boards, and here they come. Benoit has time to shoot it deep. Duncan Keith gets help from Brandon Bollig. He moved it to Ben Smith. And Smith coming off a game on Sunday where he had 15 minutes of ice time. That's his season high. And one of the great things the Hawks have had. Now here's it might be a 2-on-1. They get it into the Hawk zone. There's, oh, what a play by Seabrook. He sprawled to deny Stastny. Paul Stastny, who's usually very reliable with a puck, hesitated momentarily, and Seabrook, a terrific defensive play.
Almost seemed like it, Pat, that Stastny was looking to pass the whole time, and great timing by Brent Seabrook. Beautiful play.
Now Peary taken away by McLeod. Captured then by Chalmerson. Able to backhand it up high and out. Talbot rolled it loose. Mitchell gave it back to Talbot. He gets it in, and a good stick by Leddy at the blue line. Kane the other way. Doesn't have any help, trying to buy a little time. Kane for Versteeg. Through a check. Cuts in shooting. Oh, Varlamov the save. Rebound. The net came free as the puck came back to Varlamov, and he covers.
Let's go back to that 2-on-1, Pat, from our Xfinity telestrator. Here's Duncan Keith. He's going to end up pinching in, and there's nobody back there supporting. And now it's a 2-on-1. But Brent Seabrook makes a great play. Slides all the way over. Stastny just did not want to shoot that puck. Wanted to pass it, and Seabrook recognized that and was able to deny a quality chance. Not even a minute and a half into the game.
We're going to have a penalty coming up. Big collision right in front of the Blackhawks bench. And Shaw got the worst of it and a little slow to get up.
That's going to be on Brad Malone. Andrew Shaw was going up the ice, Pat, and looked like at the last second he just kind of turned his back to make that pass, and then Malone takes a piece of him and runs him right into the Blackhawk bench. Shaw saw him coming, and Malone had his hands up first off. And the Hawks get an early power play, down by.
All right, here's a long shot by Kane. It's wide of the target. And it's held in by Sharp. Into the corner, Taves tried to center, then got it back. Taves dropped it to Sharp. Looking back to the captain. Here's Sharp's one-timer. Missed the net. Rebound. Hot bounce from the end board. Varlamov able to stay with it. And now Kane Rolled it loose. Toews takes a look. Back to Kane. Patrick Kane for Jonathan Toews. Back to Kane. Again, Toews has got it. And Sharp will go to Keith. A bouncing puck, though, wound up out of the zone. Hawks just 3 of their last 16 with the extra man. That's over 6 games. And the Colorado PK has really had a hard time of late. 4 goals in the last 9 have been converted. 4 power plays have been converted against them out of the last 9. Mitchell, though, able to clear this. A minute of power play time for Chicago. Leddy leads him out. He's got some room. Seabrook, a good pass to Versteeg. Seabrook, though, hit hard by Hayda, but he's back in the play. Seabrook to Versteeg. Now it's taken by Saad. Down low, Peary put it in front. Versteeg, good save, Varlamov. Rebound held in Leddy. Great passing by the Hawks and a good save required and made by Varlamov. Now here's Leddy letting it go. Varlamov to save. Rebound. He made a second save. A stuff attempt from Versteeg didn't go through. Now here's Leddy. He had to ring it around.
Got to shoot that puck again. You had him on the run. Face-off probably going to come outside here, Pat. I believe it went off Brandon Peary. But the last chance, Nick Leddy's got to walk in and shoot it. He had net front presence. A couple of real good opportunities there for Brandon Saad in front of the net. And you talked about the beautiful passing play. Little interchange there. Saad to Peary to Versteeg. Good stop by Varlamov. When you get a team on a run like that, Pat, and you talked about the lack of confidence for the Avalanche penalty kill as of late, you don't want to turn down any opportunities at putting the puck towards the net.
Right now the penalty over. Hawks had 4 shots on that power play. A couple of them really good ones, too. Well, let's see if a little momentum is gained from that power play situation. Toews fights his way into the zone, pulls up. Now gave it to Kane. Spins it in behind for Sharp. Patrick Sharp dropped it. Here's a long one, Oduya. And Varlamov had a good look at that. Now it's picked up by the Avs and able to clear it to center. And a great cut across by Chalmers. And again, he and Oduya just seem to be able to read each other so beautifully about who needs what kind of assistance. And who's going to move up a little bit on the play and who's going to stay back. The 2 Swedes have really gelled marvelously.
Well, time now for a Hyundai What to Look For. I'm still out of breath, partner, from taking the stairs all the way up from the media room. So short shifts. The air's real thin here in Denver. And get on their defense, Pat. You take Jan Hayda and Eric Johnson out of the lineup. The other 4 defensemen have only played 180 career games in the NHL. Exploit those back 4 defensemen.
Really, of those 4 that you mentioned, I mean, 2 of them were never drafted. One guy was a 3rd-round pick, another guy a 4th-round pick, which doesn't mean they can't play. It's just that they're certainly not highly touted coming out of junior hockey. Now, Bordeleau rolled it to the side. A centering attempt broken up by Leddy. It's loose. Crawford reaching. Did he get it? He just barely able to snare it with the tip of his glove to get a whistle.
Well, the Blackhawks charities, Chicago Blackhawk charities, are selling limited edition certified Chicago Blackhawks ice from the 2013 Stanley Cup Championship season. The one-of-a-kind vials of melted home ice can be purchased for $99 per vial, with all proceeds benefiting Blackhawks charities. Visit ChicagoBlackhawks.com for more information.
Now the draw. Brandon Peary able to win that draw. Good thing in the last 2 games. Peary's been 6 and 18 at the dot. Here's Mitchell. He tried a long shot. Good save on a redirect by McLeod. Great stop by Crawford. And the Hawks able to get rid of it. Here's Peary to the other end. Dropped it to Shaw. Hangs it around the boards. Mitchell for Colorado. Able to get it to Talbot. And now they're able to get out. Tyson Barrie's long wrister right into the crest of Crawford. We have played 6 minutes scoreless in Denver. A reminder, as you enjoy cold one, look forward to Miller Time later in the game tonight. It'll be brought to you by Miller Lite.
And from our captain, Morgan RoboCam, John Mitchell will shoot the puck. And a terrific save there from Corey Crawford, with Cody McLeod standing right in front of the net. Simple play, little redirect. Crawford never saw it, just relied on his positioning. And a good opportunity for the Avalanche.
Avs get the draw. Hayda put it ahead, picked off Seabrook. Pass ahead, jumped away from Sharp. Now it's dumped in. Taken by Hayda. Goes high off the glass to get this one out.
Look out.
Now a bad bounce off the end boards. Hit to Stastny, they score. Seabrook tried to make a bank pass to Keith. He didn't get the hop he was hoping for. It hit the side of the net, went right out in front, and it's 1-0. So Paul Stastny, who's been red hot, that's 7 goals his last 10 games now.
Pat, you just felt that something bad was going to happen here. Corey Crawford doesn't make a very hard pass there, and Brent Seabrook's trying to get this puck back to Duncan Keith in behind the net, and it takes a bad hawk bounce off the boards, off the side of the net, in between Crawford and the goal, and Stastny comes in. It was a 2-on-0 right in front of the net. I like that Crawford came out, Pat, but he didn't make a hard pass right away, and I think that might have surprised Brent Seabrook. And then it was just a domino that fell right after that, and the Hawks are down by 1.
And you just saw the stat we showed you that the Avalanche have been perfect when they've scored the first goal. Now, of course, a lot of that has been what we referenced earlier. Their team defense has just been brilliant in the first quarter of the season. Not sure whether they'll be able to limit the Chicago offense as well as they've been able to shut down some other clubs. Here they come in again. The Landeskog's had a tip. The redirect went just wide. McKinnon. And a couple of greats after the Hawks had some great chance on the power play. It's been all Colorado since then.
I thought McKinnon could have taken that puck himself, Pat, but he played a little give and goal with the captain of the Avalanche, Gabriel Landeskog, and what an opportunity there. But again, transition through the middle of the ice. Turnover by the Hawks, and the Avalanche, again, their quick speed you talked about early, Pat. They can really move. You got to manage the puck much better in the middle of the ice.
Sheldon Brookbank back as a forward tonight. Of course, I'm not sure we mentioned yet that Marian Hossa once again is out of the Blackhawks lineup. So Brookbank back up in front with Shaw and Bickle for the most part. But now Kane will get a little double shift as he'll change up with Brookbank, as he quite often does when Brookie's been playing as a forward. Kane gets the draw. Now it's picked up by John Mitchell. And Talbot able to roll it to center. Now McLeod jammed it out of the corner. Here's Talbot, whose pass deflects. Talbot bothered by Kane. It jumped loose, and here comes Andrew Shaw. Fires it around the boards. Bickle unable to pick up a bouncer. And Seabrook getting back. Now Seabrook to Taves, sending it forward. Works against Johnson. Craig Johnson, who was picked first in the draft his year. Jonathan Taves went third. Now as Malone bounced it loose. Here comes Stastny. Keith got to him quickly. Back of the goal. Parenteau got checked. And the Hawks get it out of there. They send it in. Varlamov's going to take a whistle here.
So November 21st, join Miller Lite at Amels Tavern in Mundelein and watch Chicago take on Winnipeg. It's a Miller Lite hockey viewing party. You get great drink specials, prizes, and more. Easy for me to say, partner. Come to Amels in Mundelein on November 21st.
Well, Eddie, I mentioned this defense pairing, Chalmerson with Oduya. Chalmerson's long shot here goes wide. And the other night against San Jose, they were on the ice all night against the Joe Thornton line. Pretty formidable task. That line never got a shot on goal. Now here comes a chance for the Avs. They race to the net. McKinnon. And Nathan McKinnon, his first two strides are as fast as anybody in the league. Now a loose puck. Hammered wide by Landeskog. Out of the corner, O'Reilly had it taken away. Back comes Kane. Patrick Kane trying to fight through a check. Not this time as he got rubbed off on the board. Leddy kept it in. Peary's down low. Oleg there to help. Jammed it loose to Peary. Walks in front, centered it. Oh, he just barely missed connecting with Kane. And now the Avs the other way. O'Reilly has to flip it deep as they were changing. Taken by Roosevelt to Leddy. And in Bollig. Got checked along the board. Now Holden able to keep it in for Colorado. And it escaped the zone. Avs have to go back and tag up so this play is still alive. And Leddy skates it out. Nick Leddy in his 198th career game. His shot and a save by Varlamov. Leddy at the tender age of 22. Getting near the 200 mark in NHL game. Now a touch pass finds Brookbank. He'll unload and a save. Varlamov rebound. Hayda able to get there first, and then Bickle went skid. Oh, he's taken up. Brian Bickle went skidding into the net. He's hurt. And the referee now has stopped the play. Brian Bickle still has not been able to get up after crashing into the goal, which came free. You can see a little left leg problem there. So not an auspicious start to the road trip tonight for Chicago.
Welcome back to Denver. Good passing play by the Hawks. Sheldon Brookbank with a good opportunity, and then Brian Bickle going hard to the net pad, and he just loses an edge. And he goes crashing right into the net and catches his leg on that left post.
Eddie, if you look at what happened when he was striding toward the net, that doesn't look good. It looked to me as if he might have even, on one of those strides, the left leg seemed to buckle slightly there as well. So kind of a double jeopardy situation for Big Bickle, who, as you could just see, was taken off to the locker room.
Go back to what you said a little while ago, Pat. The Hawks only have 11 forwards dressed tonight, and now with Brian Bickle right now, they're down to 10.
Taves turns to the forehand, centered it, and it's kicked away Varlamov. Aaron Toe rolled it loose. McGinn could only get as far as center. Long pass missing. Sharp going to result in an icing whistle, and Taves not happy with that call, feeling that he would have been able to touch up first.
Hey, Pat, we got a special shout-out. One of the great equipment managers, assistant equipment manager, Jimmy Heinzelman, wants to send a shout-out to his grandmother, Betty Dillenbeck, who had a fall at home, and wants her to know that he's thinking about her as we are, so we wish Betty all the best in her recovery.
Now a loose puck out in front, and O'Reilly couldn't get rid of an attempt. Hayda tried. That's going to deflect way high and out of play.
Well, 1-2 is the inside story. The 2013 Stanley Cup champion Chicago Blackhawks. The 240-page hardcover book chronicles the Blackhawks' dream season, from the streak to the Stanley Cup to the banner raising. Plus, each book includes Blackhawks TV Championship DVD, 17 seconds. For more information, visit ChicagoBlackhawks.com.
Bollig flipped it in there, chased it down, hacked it around the boards, and now Cleach for Colorado. Wrapped up along the board. Taken by Barry. And Bordeleau able to bounce it out of there. Here's Roosevelt. Kane gets in. Patrick Kane is checked. Nice play, Holden, who's able to roll it free, and here come the Avs. Landeskog going wide. Dropping it back. O'Reilly had it knocked away. Held in, though. Here's a shot there. They score! Benoit let it go. Might have been tipped. But the Avs have a 2-0 lead.
Well, lots of people standing in front of the net. And that puck changed direction, Pat. You're right. It definitely gets deflected about 10 feet out in front of Corey Crawford. Certainly changed direction because the way he reacted, Pat, is he went for it and then all of a sudden it wasn't there. But the quick release there from Benoit, and I don't think there's any doubt that Gabriel Landeskog redirected that puck to the back of the net. 2-0 lead for the Avalanche.
Chalmerson a long wrist shot into the glove of Varlamov. A lot of Blackhawks fans may know this story, but you know why that guy is standing in the blue paint? Because of the guy standing behind the Colorado bench when Corey Crawford was growing up in Montreal. He actually was a forward as a youth hockey player. I think he was a centerman, and at that time when he was 8 or 9 years old, Patrick Roy was backstop of the Montreal Canadiens in the Stanley Cup, and he said, hey, that looks like a pretty cool position. That looks like a pretty cool job. And he changed. I mean, he literally had to find a team that would take him to play goal after being a pretty good forward for a couple of years. He finally found a team that would let him be a goalie, and obviously he's been one ever since. And by the way, a Stanley Cup winning goalie. And a guy who is tied for the NHL wins lead entering play tonight. He's going to need some help from his offensive people, though, as this game rolls along. Hawks down 2 with 13 minutes gone by.
Again, Pat talked about one of our keys of the game is to get on this inexperienced defense. You got Hayda and Johnson out there against the Taves line, so that leaves the second and third line. And again, Hawks down a forward in this game with Brian Bickle. It looks like Bickle's back on the ice, Pat. Is that Bickle on the left side now? No, that's Bollig. So I do not see Bickle on the bench right now. So again, short shifts, roll them over and take advantage of this inexperienced defense on the back end for the Avalanche.
Talbot centered it 3-0. John Mitchell had a free stick just outside the blue paint. And the Avs have scored 2 goals in just under a minute. And it's 3-0.
And it looks like Antti Raanta is going to get the call right now. Joe Quenneville walked over, had a quick word with assistant coach Mike Kitchen. And that was a bang-bang play, Pat, from below the goal line out to the front. Max Talbot, who came over in a trade with the Philadelphia Flyers. And Joel Quenneville's trying to get his goal.
Yeah, they were ready to drop the puck at center ice. And Quenneville is trying to let him know he's going to change goalies. And Raanta trying to get his equipment in order. But Corey Crawford is done. 3 goals and 7 shots, although one's a deflection. And look at this point blanker.
Yeah, well, look at 2 Blackhawks over there. Marcus Kruger gets carried over there, and then Mitchell just standing right in front of the net. Nobody in front of the net. Everybody kind of mesmerized by the puck, Pat. Everybody chasing the puck. I don't mind that Raanta's taking his time here, Pat, and I'm sure that Coach Q, who has a lot of experience, has been in this position before at times. Tell the goaltender, you're going in, but take your time. Let's slow this game down. I don't have to use my timeout. So I think a cagey move here. I like the move. Wake his team up, and also to buy a little bit of extra time. And
sorry, Eddie, but I'm just going to mention Raanta, 24, has never played an NHL game before, and he gets tossed in there tonight. And the Blackhawks basically have had 13 shots. They have just 7, but it's 3-0 Colorado. Here's a loose puck from Bollig. Big save by Varlamov. Brandon Bollig behind everybody, had plenty of time, and Varlamov able to deny point blank. And now icing here, Chicago.
Boy, the puck was along those right wing boards, Pat. Next thing you know, it's in front of the net. It was Brent Seabrook who made a great pass to Brandon Bollig. Well, you talk about a key stop. Your team's up 3, and then you got somebody standing right in front of the net. And what a chance for Brandon Bollig. Great pass there from Brent Seabrook.
Benoit cleared it over, then got it back along. Wrist shot deflecting. And Kruger got checked, turned it over. Here's the shot. Landeskog going high and wide. Held in by Benoit, then captured by Kruger. He failed to get it out. Keith able to chip it loose. Hawks send it in, looking for a change, but they didn't get it deep enough. Here comes O'Reilly. A back pass. Stastny turns to the board. That was McKinnon. Rather, he rings it around. And now a long shot. Went wide of the mark. Landeskog put it in behind Oduya there. Kane. Now scooped it deep. Andrew Shaw gets on it first. Unable to get it out in front. Parento able to clear it to center. McGinn in on Hjalmarsson. Jamie McGinn with a wrist shot, and Runza makes his first NHL save. Hawks turn it over again. Parento a shot, good block by Hjalmarsson, and it goes out of the zone.
Giveaway by Andrew Shaw, backhand pass into the middle of the ice. You can't make that play in your own zone. Right now, it's got to be simple. Puck's got to get out. Get it in at their blue line, get it out at your blue line, so you can gain some traction and confidence.
Johnson has to turn back. And McGinn sends it in. Nick Leddy rolled it in. Good pass, finds Taves. He shoots. Varlamov stopped it. Rebound taken by Mitchell. And the Avs able to get it out. Roosevelt got help from Saad. Now Leddy takes it back. 2 assists in the last 3 games for Nick Leddy. They need some more of that from him tonight. This play broken up. Landeskog cleared it ahead. O'Reilly scooped it in behind. McKinnon checked by Seabrook, but they keep possession, and then it jumped away from Benoit and out. Seabrook. It jumped away from Versteeg.
Right now, Pat, the Hawks got to play a red line and in type of game, meaning once you get to the red line, everybody knows we're going to dump the puck in and go get it.
Brookbank chips it deep. Shaw against Barry in behind. And it jumped loose to the Avs. Malone able to get it out of there.
What I mean by that is everybody's going to understand that's where the puck is going, so there's no in between. We're not trying to make pretty passes. We're not trying to skate the puck ourselves. Obviously, if you get a chance, you will, but the puck's got to get in deep.
Sharp with a wrist shot, soaked up Varlamov with 3 minutes remaining in the first period. The Hawks have outshot the Avs 15-8, but they trail by 3. All of us associated with the Chicago Blackhawks want to send our thoughts and prayers to the towns hit hardest from those deadly tornadoes the other day. Hundreds of homes have been destroyed. Several communities have been left devastated. Many are homeless, and they need your help. We invite you to log on to saheartland.org, or you can text GiveHeart to 80888. Make a $10 donation from your cell phone if you do that. You can also visit redcross.org, or you can call 1-800-RED-CROSS. We invite you to please participate in all that. We thank you so much to all the great Blackhawks fans for your help. This community had devastating floods not that long ago. They're on the comeback trail. It's not easy, but I'm sure all of our great folks in Illinois that are now suffering will be able to recover. Here's Stastny. Jammed it loose. Parento got checked. And Sharp comes away. Taves into the zone. Donovan Taves. Ran out of room. And it's back to center. Now McKinnon turned it over. A long shot. Oduya was blocked. Benoit got help from Hayda. And now the Avs. Here comes O'Reilly steaming in, shooting. Trying to go high glove, missed the net. Benoit tapped it deep. Oduya able to shield Knightley, but he turns it over to Mitchell. Right in with a shot. It's blocked. And the Hawks now move it back. Saad gets in. Brandon Saad. Fought off a check, slipped it out in front. Shaw had a shot, good save through a screen by Varlamov, and the Avs get it out. Seabrook.
1 minute remaining in the period.
We get to the final minute of the first. Peary dropped it back. But it's picked up by Mitchell. He couldn't get it beyond Keith. Back goes Seabrook. 40 for the period. Kane into the zone. Peary looking back towards Kane. Gets into the middle. Here's the shot. Oh, he missed the net. Great chance, but he shot it wide. And now the Avs able to clear it to center. Roosevelt cut across. Good thing. They might have had a 2-on-1 otherwise. And now Jan Hayda shoots it in there. Roosevelt looking towards Leddy. Well, the clock winds down to the first period. Will come to an end in Denver tonight. The Avs score 3 goals on their first 7 shots. They get outshot 17-8 by the Blackhawks in the opening frame. But Colorado with a 3-0 lead at the end of 1. Really amazingly, the Hawks had a pretty good power play early on, but they got a couple good chances on that, and after that, it was all Denver.
This period of Blackhawks hockey was brought to you by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Honda dealers. Proud sponsors of Blackhawk Hockey on Comcast. Blackhawks Hockey on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by Hyundai. Save big at Hyundai's Black Friday Everyday Sales Event, going on now through December 2nd. BMO Harris Bank. Get the official BMO Harris Blackhawks debit MasterCard at bmoharris.com/fancard. Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. Corona Extra, who invites you to find your beach. And by Kia. Visit mykiachicago.com to learn why Kia is one of the fastest growing car brands in America.
Well, Hawk fans, remember to bring your Blue Cross and Blue Shield card to all Blackhawk home games for a chance to be part of the Blue Cross upgrade experience. Carry the card that gives you benefits wherever you are. Blue Cross, through it all. Welcome back to Denver. The Hawks trail the Avalanche 3-0 as we get ready for the second period. In our Illinois Lottery Anything's Possible statistic, Nathan MacKinnon became the youngest player in Colorado franchise history, dating back to the Quebec Nordiques of the late 70s, when he debuted at 18 years and 31 days, breaking the mark set by Owen Nolan, 18 years and 235 days back in October of 90. In his first game, MacKinnon recorded 2 assists, 2 penalty minutes, and a +1. Rating him the youngest NHL player to record multiple points in a game since January 8, 1944. Pat, I want to hear about that game. When Ted Teeter Kennedy totaled 1 and 3 for 4 points as the Maple Leafs won their game. And Teeter was 18 years and 27 days. Pat, you made mention his first 2 steps are lethal.
Yeah.
And the more experience he gets, the more he's going to use that to his advantage. He is a real fun player to watch.
He came into the game tonight, McKinnon, with just 3 points in his last 6 games, but big opportunity with the injury to their best player, Matt Duchene. He's playing with McKinnon, playing with O'Reilly and Landeskog, so lots of wheels in that threesome, and we're underway in the second. And by the way, we have looked on the Blackhawks bench, and we do not see Brian Bickle, who left the ice late in the first period, and so far has not been able to return. No report as yet.
Sorry, Pat, in a second.
Taves trying to drive in front. Center one, it's deflected. And Parento bounced it out to center.
And the second period of Blackhawk Hockey is brought to you by Chevy and Chevy Drive, Chicago.com. Lots of ice time for those guys playing forward, Pat. You got Brookbank up there playing as a forward, so 10 natural forwards and 1 D-man up front. So a real short bench for Joel Quenneville.
Here he tipped it deep. Now it's loose to Kane, but some traffic there, and the Avs get it back. Here's McKinnon going wide on Keith. In behind, O'Reilly couldn't pick it up. Landeskog did. Tipped away by Kane. Out he comes. Might have a quick 3-on-2. Kane gets in, left it for Stieg. Rink wide, out of the reach of Seabrook. He's center tip. Kane, good save, Varlamov. Rebound taken by the Hawks for Stieg. To Seabrook, a wrister is blocked. And now Versteeg again. Over to Seabrook. Keith looking for a lane. Gave it to Kane. Seabrook's long shot is off a leg. And the Avs finally able to clear their own end. Now Kruger for Bowling. And then Bowling spins it back out of the reach of Roosevelt, and Hawks will need to reorganize. This one taken away by the Avs. A hot pass, too hot to handle, and Shaw the other way. Shot it into his own bench.
Well, the Blackhawks have announced the release of 17 Seconds, an hour-long movie chronicling the dramatic Game 6 finish and summer-long celebration of the Stanley Cup. Get an all-access pass inside the locker room in Boston, ride along the parade buses, and relive the magic of the banner-raising ceremony. For complete details and additional screening info, visit ChicagoBlackhawks.com/17 seconds. Pat, that last play there, Antti Raanta played that puck, and that's another area of the game that Blackhawk defensemen have to go to school on there, and you know that natural communication, whether it's verbal or not, of just knowing when the goalie's going to go and play it and where you're going. So again, something the defensemen have to get used to with a new goaltender in there.
Malone put it in behind. Now it's out to Barry. Tipped it into the corner. Brad Malone had it taken away. And Roosevelt put it deep. Held in by Smith, but then he lost it, and from a prone position able to hack it away. Otherwise, Barry might have been gone. Now the Avs. Parento bounced it out. Keith to Taves. He's got the line. Jonathan Taves pulls up. Strike one. He dropped it to Seabrook along blast. Missed the net. Rebound into the corner for Sharp. Patrick Sharp to Brandon Saad. He was well covered. Managed to keep it in there. And now Tyson Barrie chipped it ahead. Parento bounced it loose. Here comes Holden. Gets it into the zone. McGinn shot. And a blocker save, and a good one by Raanta. Now taken by Keith to Saad. Brandon Saad. Boy, put it past between teammates. They're going to have a 2-3-on-1 the other way. Stasny gets in, dropped it. Centering pass, Raanta. Oh, nice move, post to post. His best save of his early NHL days for Antti Raanta, facing a 3-on-1 opportunity.
Well, you heard Michael Roosevelt in that interview, Pat, talk about turnovers, and you mentioned it. Saad with the turnover, 3-on-1. The Hawks will take this shot. I mean, it's not a great angle, and you got a left-handed shot on those left wing boards. Jamie McGinn, Parenteau all the way over. There's some room upstairs, but Raanta closes the door. That last shift, Pat, for the Taves line, they were out there against that third set of defensemen for the Avalanche. They took advantage of not seeing Hayda or Johnson on the ice at that particular time. So again, in the second period, the long change, much easier to get those matchups that are advantageous for Joel Quenneville with the offensive zone closest to their bench. Let's see if the Hawks can take advantage of that at some point here, moving down. And again, a short bench now. We keep talking about it, but it's an important part of this game.
At altitude.
Absolutely. Let's see it quick.
Landeskog, the 20-year-old captain of the Avs, chipped it out. It winds up in the Colorado bench. Well, now the Hawks have the Peary line out. And the Avs have the O'Reilly grouping. Really, McKinnon's the center, but O'Reilly took the draw. This one deflects out of play. You know, Patrick Waugh won a couple of Stanley Cups here while playing for the Colorado Avalanche, and they're asking him, the media was asking him this morning about Joel Quenneville. The first thing, Joel was an assistant coach here in Denver when Patrick was playing. He said, I always knew he was going to be a head coach, and what I really appreciate about him was his intensity. That quote was taken back to Joel Quenneville in his media scrum today, and Joel just started laughing. He says, I liked his intensity more. Now a four-time Stanley Cup winner, Patrick Waugh, the only player in the history of the game to ever win 3 Conn Smythe trophies. Some spectacular numbers for the Hockey Hall of Famer.
Coached in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League for 5+ seasons. Coached general manager and got the opportunity, so-called, to come back home. You got Joe Sakic here as well, Pat, the head of hockey operations, running the show.
Here's Saad with a wrist shot, off the leg but going wide. In behind Saad. Able to kick to the stick. Brandon Saad working along the boards against Gennon. The long shot never got through. Held in Leddy. Centering pass tipped back to Roosevelt. Shaw's in behind to Bollig.
That's where the Hawks have to play, Pat, below the goal line.
Bollig looking back towards Saad. Brandon Saad has 5 points in his last 4 games. Roosevelt's shot here is handled by Varlamov, who was hugging the post.
Well, Kane, Bickle, Bollig, Hjalmarsson are growing mustaches throughout this month of November in support of Movember, an annual month-long event that focuses on raising awareness and funds to fight prostate and testicular cancer and mental health challenges. Fans can donate to or join the Blackhawks Movember team by visiting the Blackhawks Movember page. Donations can also be made to the individual players' pages.
Patrick Bortolo will ring it around the boards. Hawks keep it in. They wrestle in behind. Smith jammed it loose, but that did not connect with Brookbank, and back come the Avs. Malone put it deep, going to chase himself. Jammed it loose. Now a centering pass picked off. But the Avs keep it in. Malone down low. Rolled it back to Barry. He put it around the board. Now Bortolo had it knocked away. And the Hawks Roosevelt ahead for Ben Smith. Back goes Jamie McGinn. And they have scoop it the other way to be played by Seabrook. Missing Saad with a pass. Icing will be called.
Everybody clap your hands.
Shout out here, Pat, to a young lady who goes to school out here in Denver. She lives in Barrington. Her family's there. Kayla Zalesko. Big Blackhawk fan. Her family back in Barrington. And lots of Blackhawk fans again traveling extremely well here to Denver.
Aaron Toe's pass picked off. Seabrook head for Sharp. He tipped it loose, and here the race is on. Saad gets in with Sharp. Saad to the goal, and he tried to put a little forehand, didn't get rid of it. An opportunity. Good play defensively, and no penalty. And now missed pass from Sharp, intended for Keith, goes all the way to the other end. Tave back into Kane. Weaves to the middle of the late man. It's Keith going to tee it up and fire. Oh, he's hoping for a redirect, and it hit a skidding Taves, who was put down as he headed to the goal. McKinnon bounced it out of there. Now Kane. It's helped to dump that one in. Yeah, Johnson tried to clear. Didn't get out. Kane put it back to Chalmers, and here it comes. And it was deflected wide. Taken by Peary. To Chalmers and tries again. Varlamov had a good look at that one. Versteeg got help from Peary. And in Peary to Johnny Oduya down low on the play. Drives deep. Oduya looking for a little help. Put it in front. Oh, it was intended for Peary, but Versteeg didn't know that he was behind him. Now Peary. This line having a good shift for Chicago. Peary, Kane, Versteeg. Kane's got it now. Kane slipped it in front. There's Leddy right in. Oh, and he tried to hit the stick of Versteeg, who was driving up the middle. Held in Kane. To Leddy. Nick Leddy hanging on. Roosevelt to Peary. And then O'Reilly took it away. Able to clear it. Hoping it doesn't go far enough for icing, and it does not. So the Avs are able to change him up. Shaw the other way. He got spun around to the blue line. Now Shaw. Grabbed by Hayden. Help from Kruger. Back to Keith. A long wrist shot. Hit a leg out in front. And Talbot unable to get it out. And the Avs eventually do clear it.
Good strong push here, Pat. Got to find a way to get the puck to the back of the net. Couple of great chances.
Couple of great shifts consecutively for the visitors. Let's see if this grouping can continue it. The Kruger line's out. Avs clear it out of there. And a Let's Go Hawks chant coming alive here in the Pepsi Center. Here's Kane able to get the line. Kane forced to the corner. Left it there. Brookbank. And a pass deflect up high. It's out of play. And a whistle. We're halfway through period 2. It remains 3-0 Denver.
Let's take a look at a couple of good opportunities. Patrick Kane with a beautiful pass over to Nick Leddy, and then Leddy looking for Chris Versteeg. Crash in front of the net on Semyon Varlamov. And then Brandon Saad going hard to the net. Jan Hayden did a good job there, Pat. Not taking a penalty, putting a little pressure on Brandon Saad. I know Saad was at the end of a long shift, but I'd like to see him maybe lower his shoulder a little bit there and take the puck right to the net. Maybe draw that penalty. With Kane dancing around that puck on his stick, creating a couple of real good opportunities for his line mates and defensemen.
Now Keith able to elude a check. He walks in deep. Left it for Sharp to the dot. He shoots it. And a save by Varlamov. Rebound. Hacked that by Saad, but I think Varlamov made a second stop. Now ring around from Keith for Saad into the corner. Tave. He won the puck, dropped it back to Keith along glass. Varlamov had a good look. To the corner goes Saad. Left it for the captain. Taves left it in front. Oh, Seabrook was up on the play. It seemed to be there for him. It took a bad hop over his blade.
If you're the Avalanche, Patrick Waugh, the head coach of the Avalanche, you got to think about trying to slow this game down because right now it's all Hawks.
Oh, the Hawks are coming. I mean, they've probably the last 4 or 5 minutes have been real solid for the visitors.
The only way you can do that is use your timeout.
Kane had it stripped to the blue line. McKinnon chasing, and a good cut across by Roosevelt, who prevent what could have been a good Colorado opportunity. Long pass from Versteeg, missed Kane, and the race is won by the Avs.
Well, Semyon Varlamov. Patrick Sharp walks right off the wall, but again, Pat, he's able to see that shot. Hawks are there looking for a rebound. Somebody's got to plant their rear end right in front of the net, not allow the goaltender to see it. And you see the numbers in the career of the former Capital goaltender as well. Now here making his home in Colorado. Good quality chance there for Sharpie. He's the type of goaltender too, Pat. If you get a chance, you got to wait him out. Just hold on to that puck a second longer. Get him to go down and then move laterally. So patience with the puck.
O'Reilly put it in front. Landeskog hit the side of the goal. Maybe a tiny piece from Ranta. Landeskog tried again. That deflected. And Kane made a good pass. Here comes Peary. Bouncing puck for Versteeg. This Versteeg was checked, and the Avs did not get it out. Hold it on this chance. Eventually it gets out of the zone. Bollig gets back in. They're caught to change the Avs, and Bollig, what a play by Barrie. Hawks had a 2-on-0 if Bollig can get that puck to the middle. But Tyson Barrie got right to Bollig as soon as the puck arrived, and that puck stayed on the boards, nothing happened. But the Avs for the first tonight were caught in a bad change. The Hawks could not make anything happen. Smith on the boards, to Bollig. Ben Smith now. Drops it to Hjalmarsson. A wrist shot. Hit traffic out in front. Now in front. Bollig a shot. Never got through. And in behind, the Evgenin able to lead him out. Roosevelt got to it, and now Leddy. 7 minutes to go in the second. 3-0 Colorado, even though they've been outshot 23-13 so far in the game. Now Leddy. Roosevelt finds Kruger. Then Saad. Brandon Saad goes wide. On a drive, then it just missed Brookbank with a pass. And the Avs Talbot, who picked up his first Colorado point tonight, did not connect on that pass. Talbot's played 8 games before tonight here in Denver. He didn't have a point there. The record was only 4-4. Taves at the other end. Good save, Varlamov. Rebound, Keith along one missed the mark. Kane checked, Seabrook kept it. Now Taves put it in front. Kane trying to tap it in off of Varlamov, who was down, and it didn't work out.
Great move there by Patrick Kane. Unfortunately, was just in a bad spot. Behind the play, Pat, you got McGinn and Sharp going at it, pitchforking one another. McGinn took a run at Sharp. Both players got the sticks up. Look out.
Look out the Hawks bench as that one tipped up high. And getting to the late stages now of period 2. It remains 3-0 Colorado.
From our Xfinity Telestrator, the great opportunity. Look at the bench area here for the Colorado Avalanche. Brandon Bollig's here. And for all you young hockey players, if this situation is here, you got guys yelling, you got to be screaming. You got to let the guy know to move the puck. let them know. Brandon Bollig, I don't think, Pat, it was pretty quiet when that play was developing, and I didn't hear anybody yelling for Brandon Bollig. So the communication, the guys without the puck got to be the eyes and ears for that guy. Now, again, Brandon Bollig should be able to know that situation, Pat, to know, get it, and just get it to an area and allow those guys to go in on a 2-on-0.
McKinnon shot deflected up high. Roosevelt put it across. Versteeg. Now they work in the corner, and Landeskog came up with it. Holden fires it back the other way, icing Colorado coming up.
Well, the Hawks will jump on their charter tomorrow and head up to Winnipeg. We'll see a couple of old teammates, Frolik, Ladd, and Big Buff, who's playing a little better as of late, partner. Hawks and Jets. Coverage begins at 6:30 Thursday night, right here, Comcast Sportsnet.
Hawks win a draw. Here's Keith. Taves down low, slipped it in front. Oh, it didn't quite connect with Saad. And McKinnon the other way. Keith cuts across right away. And now Sharp for Saad. He mishandled it. And back goes Seabrook. Now Sharp gets the line. His pass is smothered. The Hawks have really had a good run here for the last 6, 7, 8 minutes, but to my way of thinking, Eddie, they really need a lamplighter before the second period comes to an end, which has 4 minutes remaining.
To put a little doubt into a team that's pretty fragile right now, right? After losing their last 3.
They've lost 3 in a row and 13 goals against in those 3 games before tonight. Now they're trying to catch him in a change again. Here's Kruger moving in, passing in front, a shot. Owen Smith trying to go to the backhand, missed the net. Rebound out of the zone. But again, the Avs caught in a player change. That time Kruger right away did get it towards the middle, and Smith with the opportunity.
Beautiful pass there from Marcus Kruger. Smith did the right thing. Receive it, make one move, just missed the net.
Now Kruger touched it forward. Shaw gets in, but has no help. Everybody changing for Chicago. Well, now a stick came up, or something came up and dropped McLeod, but they play on. The referee's arm stays down. Here's the Brookbank. Roosevelt. And Sheldon Brookbank for Roosevelt with a one-timer. Oh, that went off a Colorado stick. An inadvertent redirect from McLeod, who almost tipped it into his own goal, but fortunately for the Avs, it went wide, and it remains 3-0. Welcome back to Colorado. We take a look at the Geico quote from the fresh 25-year-old. It's been a great ride coming in here at 18 years of age to where I am now. A lot of good things have happened to the organization and myself, and to be a part of it has been pretty fun. Yeah, I would guess. A couple of Stanley Cup victories. Happy birthday, Kaner, from the stands. He's got a Conn Smythe trophy that belongs to him. But
nice new contract.
Nice. It's all good. And we mentioned this earlier. He comes in here with a 7-game point streak. The way he's had the puck tonight and the couple of opportunities that he has had and created, I'm quite surprised it hasn't been extended yet.
Matter of time.
Yeah, matter of time. But it keeps up this way. Yeah. Here's a long wrist shots. Kicked away. Varlamov. Kane for Versteeg. Gannon took it away and cleared it.
Basson's been a little off here tonight, Pat. Another opportunity for the Hawks to exit the middle of the ice, but a pass in between and a tough handle there for Chris Versteeg.
Shaw carries it to Versteeg. Slipped it ahead. Kane takes a look. Pass never got through. Holden, who got in the way. Now Shaw trying to center, but Versteeg was in too deep. Kane back to Seabrook to Keith. Spins off a one check, but the second man took it away, McKinnon. Cleared it ahead. O'Reilly chased it down. Ryan O'Reilly. Now tried to center it, and it just jumped away from McKinnon. And Seabrook, who had that great recovery, as Eddie mentioned, now moved it ahead to Toews. Toews with some speed, trying to split the D. He did. He centered it, and somehow it didn't get through. What a play by Toews, just muscling through two checkers. But now the Avs might have a 2-on-1. Talbot carried it in. Shooting. He scores. Sorry, that was Parento. It's 4-0.
Well, the former Blackhawk scores at one end, but at the other end, Pat, as you mentioned, Jonathan Toews just knifes right through the defense of the Colorado Avalanche. Brandon Saad to the left of your screen. Toews is trying to get that pass over and ends up going off the right skate of the defender. And then back the other way, Parento short side, and Antti Ranta. Opportunity at one end, missed. One shot. Now you're down by 4.
Assisted by number 26, Paul Stastny. And number 9, Jan Haga. Time to go 18 minutes, 38 seconds of the second period.
So a late goal for Colorado. Able to extend the lead.
The goal, Parento.
As Kruger
From Stastny and
Stopped it.
Haga at 18:38.
then got it back. Smith. Gonna try it out of the corner. Oduya. To Smith in deep. Final minute of period 2. Now a shot attempt stopped by Varlamov. Rebound Smith, and he just lifted it up too high as he was falling.
What a great effort by Ben Smith.
Who gets it again? A shot and a save, Varlamov. And the Avs able to get it out. The clock winds down here in period 2. Versteeg for Kane. That's picked out of midair by Johnson, who got rid of it. Remember, after the start of last season, the Hawks had a record-setting 24-game undefeated streak to open up the year. Here is where it was ended. And the Hawks in a world of hurt tonight through 40 minutes of play. They trail the Avs 4-0 at the end of 2.
Blackhawks hockey on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Do you believe in the power of possibility? The Illinois Lottery. Anything's possible. And by Toyota. Elevate your style with the 2014 Toyota Corolla. Toyota. Let's go places.
Welcome back to Denver. Well, Hawks down by 4 as we get ready for the third period. Well, yesterday, the Blackhawks were at Agassiz Elementary School in Chicago donating floor hockey equipment. There's team president and CEO John McDonough, one of the representatives for the Blackhawks. They were there yesterday. All Chicago public schools participating in the 30 plus 20 plus 10 initiative, a program to ensure students receive 60 minutes of physical activity each day. Will receive the equipment and a clinic for all students from the Blackhawks. The skills students learn in sports like hockey, teamwork, focus, and the value of hard work, practice, and perseverance will benefit them in school today, in college tomorrow, and throughout their lives. Another great job by the Blackhawk organization, both on and off the ice.
I think I wish I would have been there to hear Savvy's speech.
Attaboy, Jack.
Mon ami.
Well, time now for our GMC professional grade save. Brandon Bollig back in the first period. Great stop there by Varlamov. Then Sharpie, Patrick Sharp with a great opportunity. Again, Varlamov able to see the puck. And then the shot from the point, another good save from the Avalanche goaltender. So again, Pat, I'll say it again. Knowing and watching Varlamov is when the Hawks get an opportunity, you got to hold on to that puck a second longer. You got to get him to move. You got to get him to go down. Then you can move the puck laterally, or you can think about shooting high. Patience with the puck. If you think you want to shoot it now, hold on to it a second longer, and then shoot it. Third period of Blackhawk hockey is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places.
All right, underway in the third as Sharp looks to speed in there around Johnson. Pulls up. Now shot it. That never got to the net. Sharp gets it back to Smith. He looks for Taves, never quite got to him. And Eric Johnson bounced it back the other way, icing Denver.
Another stick behind the play. Now it's Stastny and Sharp behind the play. Remember Sharp, I mentioned, Pat, in that second period, it was Sharp and McGinn with the stick swinging. And now it's Sharp and Stastny as that puck went down. Good play by Jan Hejda, Pat. Looked like the Hawks had something going in behind the play. And a good stick by Hejda in his own defensive zone.
Peary pulled it back to Leddy. Peary shot. Good save, Varlamov. Rebound to the Avs, Hejda. And now Colorado comes away. Long pass out of the reach of Parenteau. Versteeg, or should say Roosevelt on the counterattack. Roosevelt got checked. Put it in behind. Center's pass just missed Kane's stick. Boy, nice idea from Peary. A quick release on the pass attempt, but barely missing Kane. Roosevelt to Leddy. Kane takes over. Chipped it ahead to Brandon Peary. With a backhand shot, stopped Varlamov. Rebound cleared by the Avs. Peary quickly back in. And now Holden. The Avs in the first two periods had 21 hits as a team. Holden had 5 of them. Here's a chance for the Avs. They score. The save made, the rebound there, and tucked in by Cody McLeod to make it 5-0.
Well, it was a play from Max Talbot to Tyson Barrie. You mentioned it, Pat. The shot, the save off the skate of Cody McLeod. And the key is, Pat, he's going in net and he's stopping. And as he's stopping, it hits his left skate, stops perfectly in front of the net for the Avalanche. And how often do I say it, Pat? You want to score goals, got to get to the front of the net. Can't do a flyby. Got to get to that area. You give yourself a chance if you go to that area, Pat. If you don't go there, you have no chance. Yeah. So even if you like the numbers and percentages, you want to go there. There's a pretty good chance. Everything's got to come through the middle of the ice. Everything has to come through there. Most importantly, the puck has to get there if it wants to go to the front of the net. If it wants to go into the net, it's got to come to the middle of the ice.
Time to go 1 minute 44 seconds.
Shaw works his way in. Versteeg taken down by Mitchell.
At 1:44.
All expired.
And the Avs will take an icing call here.
Well, the Blackhawks and University of Phoenix have partnered for Top Shelf Teachers, a program that recognizes and rewards hardworking educators in the state of Illinois, Indiana, and Wisconsin. Winners will receive a replica Blackhawks jersey, 6 tickets to a Blackhawks home game, and a $100 gift card for classroom supplies to donorchoose.org. Visit blackhawks.nhl.com/topteachers to nominate someone today.
Well, the Hawks will have an offensive zone draw here. The Colorado Avalanche now in position to move to within 2 points of the Blackhawks in the division and conference standings. And they would still have 2 games in hand, barring a Chicago miracle here in the last 17 minutes. Malone chipped it forward. And Keith. Now Seabrook will send it in. Varlamov will glove and hold. Take a look at the Western Conference standings entering play tonight. So the Avs tonight getting to the quarter pole. They reached the 20-game mark tonight. St. Louis with a victory. They won their game tonight. So they're within 1 of the Hawks, and the Avs, barring a miracle, will move to within 2. Here's Taves. Now a wraparound, and Varlamov able to get in the way. Smith rolled it loose, but Parento able to hoist it out. Sharp thought Leddy was going the other way. And the Avs steal. Here's a stuff attempt. Might have been blocked by Roosevelt. Oh, a battle in the corner. Again, dropped it back, but Colorado will have to regroup. They change on the dump in. Roosevelt. This long pass picked right out of midair. A nice play by McKinnon, the first pick of the draft last spring. Here comes Brandon Saad, a little delay move, but he could not get away from Gennon, who made a good play defensively. Now Oduya chipped it loose. Here's Brandon Peary, who has a goal in 3 straight games, points in 4 in a row. And the Hawks so far have nothing tonight. Varlamov, by the way, does not have a shutout so far this season. Might as well start throwing the curse out there. So he's going for his first shutout of the year, Semyon Varlamov. Mitchell gains the line, pulls up, tried to slip it in front. It's broken up by Chalmerson. Golick put it deep. And a keep to Versteeg. Chris Versteeg drives. Put it to Keith with a blast. That's partially blocked and then deflected. Good save Varlamov on a redirect. And a clearing attempt is held in. Versteeg shooting. That's blocked out in front. And the Avs try to clear, and they did. Golick was short of center when he dumped that. That's icing.
Had to get a belated birthday shout out. Met this young lady on the seemed like it was a Blackhawks charter down in Nashville the other day, Pat, with all the Blackhawk fans on there in the friendly skies. But Kathy Cobalt from McHenry is enjoying her 65th birthday. Big Blackhawk fan, huge Blackhawk fan, and is enjoying her birthday down in Nashville.
All right, now Seabrook. There's it back in there. Eric Johnson. Nope. By Cleach in the corner. And the Avs able to clear to center. Back in comes Smith. Van Smith run over by Hayda. As he was trying to find a loose puck. Smith got crushed by Jan Hayda. Hard to say the Avs with 21 hits in the first 2 periods tonight, so they've been a physical group this evening. Here's McGinn, and a good shot blocked by Leddy. Deflects out of play. There have been full games we've seen where teams don't have 21 hits. The Avs have been laying the body on tonight.
Well, time now for our BMO Harris bank check replay, and a good, clean, hard hit there by Jan Hejda on Ben Smith, who I think's had a strong game here tonight. Made a lot of good effort plays. Couple of good chances in that second period. And Hejda's been all over the ice tonight for Patrick Roy on that back end.
Well, the draw to Benoit, dropped it back. Parenteau tried to give it back to Benoit, then from the side, Stastny tried to poke it home. Paul Stastny with 2 points in the game tonight. Here's Saad, his centering attempt broken up. And now the Hawks, Saad had it jammed loose. Rosabal. Versteeg had it knocked away. Benoit cleared it the other way, and icing waved off. So Hjalmarsson clears it into the zone. Smith was checked right away. O'Reilly put it into Chicago territory. Jonathan Toews goes wide. Looking to center. Tipped by Smith. Oh, what a save on a redirect by Varlamov. Now Sharp and Hjalmarsson weren't sure who was going to take the puck. A penalty coming up. Tripping call on Hjalmarsson.
Oh, what a chance right before the penalty pad. You mentioned it. Jonathan Toews coming up the ice, throws his puck to the front of the net. Ben Smith, we were just talking about him, partner, and he goes right to the net. And in between for, as you mentioned, Hjalmarsson and Sharp. Penalty on Hammer.
Chicago penalty number 4. Nicholas Hjalmarsson.
Power play since the opening period.
Time of the penalty, 7 minutes, 58 seconds of the 3rd period.
And now the Avs get it into the Hawk zone. McKinnon a wrist shot. Runta made the blocker save. And it's held in by Holden. Nick Holden to Andre Benoit. He'll put it to Parenteau. B.A. Parenteau shot block. Seabrook, and then a second attempt blocked by Renta. Rebound Parenteau. And it's taken away by Seabrook. Well, the Avs dump it. Oduya retrieved it. Couldn't get it beyond McGinn. And then it bounced away from Barry and out.
Look at that first baseman's glove for that one there, partner. Bouncing all over the place.
Just under a minute for the Avs power play. And Smith trying to jam it off the boards, but then the Avs do. Here's Johnson with a shot, partially blocked. Good stick from Saad. Barry's one-timer. Runta with the right pad. Stastny's pass deflecting. Held in though by the Avs. Landeskog takes a look. Barry unloads. Missed the net. Rebound came back to the middle. Hawks there, and Smith got rid of it. Mitchell didn't get it deep. They'll have to regroup. Here comes Cody McLeod. Patrick Roy with a big lead, giving some power play time to guys that don't ordinarily get it. And the Hawks move back their penalty over, both teams full strength. And McLeod, the long wrister that's soaked up by Antti Ranta. We are halfway through period 3. 5-0 Avs. Welcome back to Denver. I think that picture tells the story, the score and the face of the head coach. Not very pleased on the Hawks bench. And if that isn't bad enough, Brian Bickle had to leave the game early on as he went skidding into the goal. Seemed to injure his left side. He has not returned. We've got no update about what his status may be. Clearly will not be back tonight, but any further developments will come later. Letty. Ahead for Smith. He's checked. Shaw then what was well covered also, and Avs get it out. Brookbank had to jump away out to center. Roosevelt gets the line, looks to Sharp, drives in, fires, and a save Varlamov.
He's really out of the net too, Pat, coming out and cutting down those angles. So again, never too late to go to school and watch and pre-scout yourself.
Now the race McKinnon got there, but his pass was behind Landeskog. O'Reilly had it picked off. Taves the other way. Jonathan Taves looks in front for Sharp. He tried to bat it out of midair. Now it jumps to Versteeg with a shot. Varlamov well out to challenge the bid. And he makes the stop.
Good pinch in there from Duncan Keith to keep this play alive. And next thing you know, it's in a high slot about 12 feet in front of Semyon Varlamov. And watch how aggressive he is. Comes way out. And again, once a goaltender comes way out, is anticipating that shot, he's going to get locked in. So you got to move the puck. You have to move laterally either way and force him to get out of his set position. And talk about going to school, Pat, for the future. Exactly what you need to do if you're a Blackhawk shooter.
Here's a redirect by Kane. Good save. Rebound, then they score. The Hawks, after the initial shot was stopped, Brandon Saad near the front of the net, able to locate the rebound and bat it home. And it's 5-1.
Well, good keeping at the blue line by Duncan Keith. What does he do? Just fire it to the net. Redirect, second chance opportunity. Puck ends up in the back of the net. And I believe it was Patrick Kane that redirected that puck bat, so his scoring streak should continue. But the low shot by Keith, the redirect by Kane, and then that beautiful little play from Brandon Saad, and the Hawks are on the board. A little life here from the Blackhawk faithful here in Denver.
They properly do give Kane an assist on the play. It's Saad from Kane and Keith. Here's a blast by Peary, but it's blocked. Taken by Seabrook. Kane walks to the middle, now moves right in, shooting. Big save by Varlamov. And Patrick Kane very upset he didn't finish that.
Talk about patience. Not many guys better in the entire National Hockey League than having patience with the puck. Give Varlamov credit here, Pat. He outweighted Patrick Kane. But once he got to that far side, I think Kaner should have been looking upstairs, up and under the crossbar. And that was a huge stop by the Avalanche goaltender. Time now for our Kia drives to the net. And the Hawks got behind the 8 ball early. Paul Stastny beats Corey Crawford, who started this game. Turnover. Gabriel Landeskog with the redirect. And then John Mitchell. That chased Crawford. Antti Raanta was in. And the Hawks down by 4 here with under 7 to go in the third.
Good pass finds Kruger, but his shot was deflected. Kruger again with a stop at 10. Down low, Varlamov. Rebound. Oh, what a save on Smith. Boy, Ben Smith has had a number of real good chances tonight. And Varlamov has his number. Now Brookbank. Going to slip it in front for Stieg. Shielding nicely, hangs on and shot it up off the glass. Shaw centered, it's taken by Versteeg, and back to they score. It hit the post, maybe. No indication from the referee. I thought the first one was in. They play on, and the Avs are just going to clear it the other way. No icing. Oduya's got to retrieve. I'm not sure why that wasn't icing.
Wrong call.
All right, now Shaw got turned around at the blue line, and our great crew in the truck letting me know that even though I thought from up here it might have gone in, it did not the initial shot. We'll take another look. Next whistle. The Avs Johnson now. Here's it to center ice.
I don't know how that puck didn't go in, Pat. You had Versteeg there, you had Shaw, I believe, and Brookbank was the guy that it was a right-handed shot on the left-hand side of the ice and had the wide open net because Varlamov got lost in his net.
Seabrook, Sharp. Now Taves, back to Keith. He'll let it go. That never got to the net. Ada pushed it up the boards. Keith kept it. Sharp shot it, but that one never got through either, and Landeskog cleared it ahead. McKinnon checked by Seabrook. Carried on Landeskog. And it's taken away to Kane. Patrick Kane speeding into the zone. Now dropped it back. Oduya, or I should say Peary. He got run over by Gannon along the board.
Never touched
The
that.
Avs, yeah, this one will be icing against Denver. We'll take a look at that near miss a shift or two ago from the Hawks.
Look at over in the left part of your screen, Pat. Here comes Sheldon Brookbank right there. Wide open net. Oh, and he just shoots it under the stick and goes back to the far side. I'm not sure for Sheldon Brookbank if that puck might have been deflected as he went to shoot that puck. But a wide open net. And again, patience with the puck. Getting the goaltender to move laterally, lock him in, hold on to that puck, and it just worked itself over to Brookbank, who had a wide open net and hits the post to the far side. There's one of those, Pat, I'd go back to the bench and I'd be asking the trainer for a new stick. That would not be a happy human.
Amy McGinn got cut off. Down to 4 minutes remaining. It's 5-1 Colorado. Peary checked at center. Now Nick Holden back into Chicago territory. Kruger. Pass picked off by Mitchell. Now John Mitchell gets in. Mitchell around a check right to the middle. The puck was flip-flopping on him though. Johnson into the corner. Landeskog. He was checked, and Bolick bounced it out of there.
Oh, like Landeskog's stick was broken, Pat. Hit that stick. Keep an eye on that.
Well, you got a pretty good ear. It was a long shot. Landeskog into the glove of Antti Ranta.
Worked okay there. Well, just like my great partner promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Antti Ranta's first save in the National Hockey League. He replaced Corey Crawford back in that first period, and the number is for Ranta in his debut in relief.
By now the Avs unable to advance it. Kane works in deep, trying to drive. The net slipped it in front. It was at the feet of Peary. Brandon Peary able to hang on under tight checking, but his feed didn't work out with Keith. And we're down to 2 minutes left in the game. O'Reilly gets in. Had his shot blocked. And Shaw the other way. The Avs dumped for a change. And it's taken away from Rosenthal. Stastny missed it. Then it's shot right on, maybe by a Hawks player. And finally Versteeg able to get control of it to clear.
I agree with you, partner. It was Versteeg. That's like, unfortunately, mine went in on my own goaltender. Playing Winnipeg, I did that on a. We were on a power play too, Pat.
Oh, come on,
yeah,
did you?
Yeah, it was on Bob Essenza, goaltending coach there for the Boston Bruins and longtime NHLer. Said, well, how come you didn't stop it? I was just trying to get it in behind you. Shot it right into my own net. That didn't feel very good.
You know, I kind of wish that the guy who touched it before he was the goalie on the other team. He'd get credit for a short-handed goal.
I think we were playing the old Hartford Whalers. Probably my buddy Ronnie Francis got credit for it.
I know you hope he did.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Eddie, this is going to be a one-sided score for the Colorado Avalanche. I'm going to be really interested to talk to Blackhawks video coach Matt Meacham to find out what the chance count in this game was. I mean, I don't think the chance count would be reflected on the scoreboard.
No, I think early in the game, Pat, certainly the Hawks had some opportunities and had a really good power play, and then after that missed power play. They had 4 shots on goal in that power play, or 5 in the first period, and then after that, the Avalanche just took over.
Here's the ANA Airlines upcoming schedule. Colorado wins this one decisively tonight. We're going to be in Winnipeg in 2 nights as the road trip gets underway this evening in Denver. Saturday in Vancouver. And then Monday in Edmonton. And look out, the Oilers have won a couple games lately, and they're winning tonight 6-0. So a team that's been dismal for the most part this year. And they got a new goalie up there now who's playing tonight, right? Bobrovsky?
Yeah, Brizgalov.
Or, excuse me, yeah. Brizgalov.
Yeah. Yeah, he's beating Bobrovsky tonight. He was on the other end.
All right, Alexis Pursuing Perfection player of the game is Paul Stastny. He had a goal and an assist tonight to lead the Colorado offense. The first one really a gift off a Blackhawks turnover. Kind of a soft pass from Crawford led to a misplay, and it led to the game's first goal, an unassisted tally for Stastny. He is our Alexis Pursuing Perfection player of the game. For our terrific CSN crew and for Eddie Olczyk, Pat Foley, hoping you enjoyed the broadcast in spite of the outcome. Colorado 5, Chicago 1. We'll see it again in 2 nights from Manitoba. Till then, so long, everyone, and hang on now. Pat and Steve are getting ready in the Chicago studio with a post game.